So this is the thing about the Core 1L. It is double the print volume, but it is only 10% larger on the outside. No Wi-Fi. The chips are removed.
Cannot do it. And that is life or death. And the Qidi is
cheap.
Budget friendly.
So this is the thing about the Core 1L. It is double the print volume, but it is only 10% larger on the outside.
Okay, that's nice. Wait,
Yeah.
how do they do that? Because the Core 1 was already quite space efficient.
They've made it more space efficient. Exactly how, I don't know, and I plan on putting them next to each other to find out. But do you go from a, what is it, 250 by 220 by 270 on the Z for the Core 1 to 300 by 300 by 330?
Okay.
Like that's
a size.
That's a serious improvement on the bed size. And Prusa has finally said, we are done with DC beds. It is now an AC bed with fans underneath to circulate the hot air radiating from the bed to get the chamber up to 60 degrees Celsius.
Nice.
Without needing a separate chamber heater, which I would really love more companies to do this. We've talked about this before, that like there are so many machines out there that all you got to do is just put a fan blowing on the bottom of the heat bed, and all of a sudden you have a relatively hot heated chamber that will maintain probably within 5 degrees Celsius of the heat bed itself. So like, duh.
I mean, I can confirm that. Like, we did testing on the original C1 series about like, do we add a Pica heater or do we just add a fan to the print bed? And the fan was a good solution. Like, actually good solution.
It's kind of dumb how good of a solution it is, because it's a really good solution, but it is really dumb as to how good the solution actually is, right? They also are claiming 5 minutes from box on table to printer printing. So we're going to test that. We're going to test that. They are not doing kits for the Core 1L. And I'm fairly certain I know why. I think it's the heat bed. So in the EU and the UK, you can't play with mains wiring. You are not certified, generally, unless you are actually certified, but you're generally not certified to play with mains wiring. And so to wire up the heat bed, you have to be certified to do this, or, you know, there's like insurance risks, like massive insurance risks. The AC heat bed. So they're saying, we're kind of done with the kits on this. Things may change, but for right now on the release, there are no kits for it. And it is priced at like €18.99 euros. So
that's a good price as well.
And here's what Prusa's also doing. This is something I didn't expect them to do, but I have a lot of respect for them for doing it. Tariffs and VAT included. Yep.
Oh.
Prusa's going to cover, Prusa's covering all the tariffs and taxes and things like that.
That's a baller move.
I think it's a baller move, and you got to have a lot of confidence in your product, and quite frankly, a lot of confidence in your profit margin to make certain that you can offer this. I think that's a great thing for consumers. Yes, they moved some prices around a little bit. So I think the XL went up a little bit. I think the Core 1 went up a little. I think all the printers went up a little bit. And they're just kind of hedging their bets on the tariff.
So it's literally roughly double the price, double the size.
What is it? It's an exponential growth in weight, isn't it?
Pretty much. Like anytime you double the size of something, it's 4 to 8 times heavier depending on construction style, just because it's volumetric. And when you're putting big sheet plates in, it gets heavy quick. Like that. It's why most of our machines use aluminium, because at the size we make, if it's steel, you aren't lifting them.
No, and
like you need 3-person lift.
Here's the crazier thing. They're saying it's actually lighter than the Core 1.
Really?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yep.
Honestly, hats off to them. They've done a phenomenal job.
But it gets there's one little tidbit that I'm like, I feel like that was the tip of the hat toward me. And I'm just going to take it as they were looking at me when they said all this. But there is a secure infrastructure edition now of the Core 1 and the Core 1L.
I want to minimize it. I think it's cooler than what you think it might be.
Custom boards with no Wi-Fi. The chips are removed. Wi-Fi chips do not exist.
I legitimately think, after seeing a photo of Joe talking to Zelensky, I'm like, they did that for that.
Okay,
defense,
they
like literally, even in the UK,
did it for governments, but I want to feel special.
No, you're not special. No specialness. But literally, like, we get it all the time where we have government bodies come like, hey, can we take a punch stamp to the Wi-Fi antennas and snap the antennas off? Like, get rid of the modules on the motherboards. Like, it's that common.
Yeah,
like
it's very
data
common.
security is a big thing. For anyone in Europe, Google Tempest ratings. So those are like the NATO standard for communications for it's not like EMI, EMF ratings. It is for basically espionage, like being able to pick up a signal and determine what that machine is doing. Tempest ratings.
Yep.
Wi-Fi basically ruins Tempest ratings.
Yes.
You cannot do it. And that is life or death.
So they are leaving Ethernet, which I think is an interesting choice. But I guess at that point, you're running it on your own land, so it's your responsibility. And the USB that it comes with is a fully encrypted, password-protected USB stick. So I dig it. I'm glad, like, you and I have discussed Construct 2 and, you guys doing a enterprise-style Construct 1 and 1XL. Nobody else has really talked about it, right? On the boutique builders, this has been discussed, but this is the first time that I think we've really seen a manufacturer take security seriously. And before anybody gets, what about the Bamboo X1E? Come on, guys.
Now, I'm going to go further. The H2D, with its entire marketing spiel around having like this closed network ecosystem, except what everybody seems to forget is it's not about the printer then. All they did is they marketed that the printer is now secure. The slicer isn't.
Right.
The slicer still has network.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if they made the printer safe. The slicer isn't safe.
Yeah,
And they locked the printer to that slicer, meaning you have to use the open communication way to do it, which means it's not safe. Prusa have done it correctly.
It's a big machine.
It's big.
The price point is high. So, like, I'm going to actively compare the Core 1L to the Qidi Plus 4 because I actually think that's
really
kind of it. Well, okay, so the Qidi Plus 4 is 305 by 305 by 285. However, because of the way that they have their stock heater from the factory, it's really only 265 because if you go further than 265, the bed blocks the outlet for the chamber heater and the machine thermally runs away.
So I was actually going to get to that, but you've kind of just brought it up. Like, the Prusa machine's high quality, and the Qidi is
cheap,
budget friendly.
Now, everyone calls me a Prusa shill, okay? Because they see the Prusas in the background. There are two Qidi Plus 4s up there. Fusion 3 F410. There's Prusa XL and some other stuff down there. But literally right above the Prusas are a pair of Qidi Plus 4s. I have 4 of them in the shop. And they are decent machines. They have their particular quirks, but I think that's a fair machine to compare the Prusa Core 1L to. It's roughly the same size. It's a little bit smaller, but it's roughly the same size. It has a 65C chamber that is controlled by a heater. And let's be real, at this point, I'm calling the Core 1L an active heater because it is using fans to actively move air throughout the build plate. Like, to me, that's an active heater, right? You are not passively allowing for convection to occur. You are forcing convection, But I think a fair comparison for machines is going to be the Qidi Plus 4 and the Core 1L. I think those, and you can get quite a few Plus 4s for the cost of a Core 1L. So you can get at least 2 of them. And so it's one of those, do I want 2 of these or do I want 1 of these and why? dry cup No, because damn it, Nathan C. Potts. I almost read that out because it's ICUP.
You have to pay for that.
Yeah, got him.
Everyone, while we were in Shanghai, I caught Ligma and I decided to die. So I am taking all of the pills in the planet. There's literally so many just to stay upright at the moment. And when I went to my friend's house last night and I gave them the story of what we got up to, they were very unhappy with me to the point where they said, "You are not leaving your bed tomorrow." Hi, by the way, if you're watching this, I'm sorry I left my bed.
I mean, it's basically your bed.